Hi,
Hi.
Louise.
Hi, Sarah. We're having a good laugh because
We're having because we're silly.
we're
We're
silly,
silly
we're super
friends.
organized. We're a
Yeah.
professional group here.
Oh, yes, we are. Well, here we are. You Can't Get Rid of Me, Jesse Scott and Keri Ault. We're reading chapter 3 and 4,
Yeah.
and he has gotten his DNA kit.
Yeah. And he's there's something so like get the book and look at his cute picture on the front. I don't know. Just there's something about it haunts me, but he and his brother are both adopted and he is going to
And
set
they
it
are
off.
brothers,
And
right? They
they're
were
yeah,
adopted together, as we talked about
together.
last week. And he's really the older brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even he talks a lot about how they would get in trouble, and it would usually be even if the younger brother Lee did something because he was the older, it always fell on him, it seemed like.
Yeah. He really protected him.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think he saw, I think he's wise beyond his years just as a young person when he's reflecting back. I think he sees a lot more than he's even saying he sees in this.
And he did mention that their older sister is the biological
Right.
child of their parents, and that she would be babysitting, and then they would do things, but she wouldn't get in trouble for being the babysitter. They would get in
No.
trouble for the things that they did. So
Yeah.
it-
They were
it-
separated out
a little,
instantly.
yeah, a little peek into maybe he thinks there was some different treatment due to,
Oh, you and I are watching a show. We're both watching something. I won't say what it is, but there's adopted kids in there and they're treated different too. Mark Ruffalo's show.
yes,
It kind of reminded me of this when I was reading, like the two the adopted together with the older sibling.
yes,
It's
yes.
interesting. It's coming up on this show we're watching. I'm
I
like, how are they going to
know.
handle this?
I'm so curious about how they're going to handle that because this latest episode was the
Yeah,
first time we really, I thought it was the case, and
me
then
too.
and then
Hmm.
to, then the last episode kind of solidified that.
You're married to an adoptee when your husband like the first episode, second, he's like, they must be adopted. She must be adopted.
I know.
I've really triggered him to all this.
And a transracial adoptee on top of it, so
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how where
I
that
agree.
goes.
We can be very angry or we can be happy that they're doing it right. So we'll find
Yeah,
out.
we'll find out. So then we just, it kind of goes into him waiting
Hmm.
for the test, and like all of us when we
Yeah.
send off our DNA or have our ghost kingdom. He
Yeah.
thought maybe Cher would be his mom, even though he knows Cher was too young. But
Yeah. And then he's also
but
like,
she
is
could
there,
have been. Like we've had adoptees who who
please.
who had a baby who were children of someone who had a baby at
That's
14
right.
or whatever. So it's
And
not
he
like
kind
she
of looked
couldn't
like
be.
Cher.
I know.
And he also thought, is it this part I liked, like the hopeful part wants to find someone wonderful, but the more realistic part of me thinks about Lee and what I've gone through. And I wonder what would happen if we find our mom and she's a horrible person. I mean, what if she's really a drug addict, prostitute? What are the chances she's even alive? That's why most people, I think, don't go down this road because the unknown is so like, okay, I know. Even if you have a bad known, it's like you operate in your known
Hmm.
and you don't know what you're going to find, which it's rarely the case that they're a drug addict prostitute, to be honest with you. That's usually poverty or
Right.
youth.
It's usually poverty, or youth. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
teenage, especially during
Mm-hmm.
this era, right? Because
Yep.
this was the baby scoop era.
Yep.
He did, and then he talks in this chapter about his dad, his adoptive dad, caught him wearing a
Oh, right.
skirt or been playing with dolls, and then just, treated him like a performing monkey, humiliated him,
Yeah.
made him dance to, uh, let's do the twist. Oh God, that just
So
really,
awkward.
and pain, like
Yeah.
awful to do that to somebody. Just
The
a
title of the
terrible thing to
chapel,
do.
Dance for Us, Jesse.
Yeah.
It is terrible.
It's so weirdly sadistic. When you think back to
Mm-hmm.
that era of that puritanical era, you know, it 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 it,
Yeah.
it brought out the sadistic side of his dad.
Girl,
I don't know.
because he has mixed feelings. We don't know where he's going to go with this. We were
Hmm.
talking about it before we got on camera. We're thinking, okay, where is he in his adoption? Because, it's building up, but like his dad, he says he's always there for them and this and that. And but he's also mean. And is he abusive? We don't know yet, but it's just creepy. It's like, what is happening? I'd be horrified if we saw something like that now, you'd immediately turn it in and talk about
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
But parenting was different then. I mean, that's too, that's also just
School,
having,
it was different. School still did
yep,
corporal punishment. I mean,
yep.
it was the mood of the era, but I mean, ugh.
Yeah,
So, and then he does talk about they did get him into therapy, right?
yeah.
But the therapist never addressed again anything,
Again,
you know. And he kind of says at the end of the chapter, I just wish any of those experts or teachers, or gosh, anyone really, would have told
anyone.
me I was doing my best to survive. Instead, the message was that I needed fixing or that I was just crazy.
Yep.
And I mean, that's it,
Relatable.
relatable, like feeling like I'm the wrong, I'm the bad seed here.
Yeah,
You know, that's how I felt.
yeah,
Like, oh my gosh, I'm
yeah,
a bad seed.
yeah. I remember thinking, what's wrong with me deep down?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong? And a few times I do think, I'm not sure it was actually my parents, but I remember hearing, what is wrong with you? I boyfriends asked me that. And then when you hear that kind of, what is wrong with you? You're like, oh God, someone's seen the ugly,
Nothing
the
is
real me.
wrong. It's that
No.
we're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So you don't fit in. I keep going back to what Sandy Caesar said at
Oh
our
yeah.
podcast. A house is a culture, right? A
Yeah.
house is a culture. It, I never, so simple, but
No.
so true. And I'd never thought about it, you know. One
Yeah.
family might have, you know, as Sandy said, even a white kid in a white family
It's a
is in a
culture.
different culture than what
It
they're from.
and what Sarah's talking about, we had our panel in DC, which we couldn't film because it's privacy and different things come up. But Sandy brought that up, and it also made me think we never have the same parents. You can have, what who is that guy I love? Paul Sunderland says each child has a
Oh
different
yeah.
parent, even
Hmm.
if you're adopted, not adopted, birth order. So it is a culture within a culture within a culture. You never think about that
I know.
because your whole life is your home life when you're young. You don't even know what goes on,
Well, then
really.
you go to a friend's house, you're like, oh, well,
What?
they have TV dinners at their
Right?
house, and all we have is, you know, vegan, boring stuff. You know, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
they get to watch TV and eat dinner, and why do we have to sit at the table? And they go to
Yeah.
church and we don't go to church. You know, it's all
Yeah.
these things that you don't even think about. And that's why I don't know why I did just when Sandy said that, it was like
Yeah.
this light bulb
Eye-opening.
going on. Yeah.
It kind of ties into what you always say, we're in a genetic house of strangers. And then
Mm-hmm.
you're in a culture of strangeness as well, because it's not even your natural inherent culture.
Yeah. That adoption,
Crazy.
the gift
And
that keeps on giving.
when does it end?
Ah, all right. Well, we're loving your book, Jesse. Hope you're
Yep.
listening. And next week, off to chapter 5 and 6,
Yep. All right.
if you're following along.
Yeah. See you in a minute for Kim.
See you in a minute for Kim.